everyone, and welcome to another custom figure showcase, and the last in my The Three Doctor series, because this is my retrospective review. Now, this is probably actually going to be a bit shorter than my other retrospective reviews, because one thing that I know I often talk about in these retrospective reviews is how these figures could be made by character options, etc. But I've said that so many times in my other videos that I don't really feel like I need to say it again. But I will just very, very quickly say now, looking across these figures, literally all I've done for these is, for example, on these two, I've used the bow tie from a Series 2 Clockwork Man, and I've sculpted on a new waistcoat. Apart from that, it is just small changes to existing sculpts. This is small changes to an existing sculpt. This is small changes to existing sculpts. And, you know, where I say existing sculpts, obviously I've added on new little bits here and there. But the point is, I've still just added small pieces that, again, it's not just possible for character options just to make new pieces. You know, it's going to cost them money to make new sculpts. But look here, right? Not only have we got 3 new variants that we've never seen before, but we've got one new variant which is a more accurate version of a figure that they've already released. And so, you know, it's like this is the kind of thing that is a lesson to character options, Underground Toys, if they ever get back together and things like that, and even the BBC and anyone else making, you know, action figures, is look at the things that the fans do that you've never done, that the fans want. These are the things that the fans want, and it's a shame that we've got to do them. Well, I mean, I love doing them. I love making custom figures, and I hope, in many ways, I hope these never get released, because then it means that I've managed to make them and I've got them myself. And I'm hopefully encouraging other people to make them. But at the same time, it's like, look at the things that the fans do. Why haven't you done them yourself? You know, but anyway, that's a point for I've discussed in many other videos, but I just wanted to say it again now, because I think when you look at them all together, it really does still stand as a point. But let's get on to actually looking back at these figures. So, obviously, we've got the 3 original figures, and we've got one figure that was a last-minute replacement. The original figure, I can see, it's over here on my shelf, but I'm not going to show it to you because not as part of another Doctor's series, as it were, but the 3rd Doctor custom actually will go in with another custom, which I already have planned, and they kind of fit together, so I thought it was a better idea to do them as a separate video. But, so, yeah, overall, looking at these customs, the 2 that I think I'm the most pleased with the final product is, rather unsurprisingly, these 2. This is the 3rd Doctor from the Monster of Paladin and the 3rd Doctor from the Green Death. Yeah, I'm very pleased with that. And I'm not pleased with these other 2. I mean, this was a nice, you know, change of an existing variant, and it makes a very nice looking figure. And the Mutants one, again, was a very nice sort of update to a custom that I'd already done. And it just, you know, it fitted nicely in reusing a custom that's gone through so many other changes. But of the 2 that I've sort of had to put a lot more work into is definitely the, you know, Green Death and the Monster of Paladin 3rd Doctors. They are the 2 that I'm probably most proud of out of all of these in terms of the finished look. However, if I had to pick a favourite of these 4 customs, it would, I think, quite surprisingly, be the Monster of Paladin version. Not the Monster of Paladin version, the Mutants version. And the reason I say this is because this figure has gone through so many changes. So it started off life as, funnily enough, a Green Death 3rd Doctor. That's what it started out like. That's what's underneath this. And then I repainted it into my 3 Doctors version. And then I repainted it into an Invasion of the Dinosaurs version. And then when the Invasion of the Dinosaurs version came out, I repainted it into a 3 Doctors version again. And then when the 3 Doctors version came out, I changed the bow tie and added this waistcoat to make a Terror of the Autons variant. And then obviously I've then now added the boots and the tie, and it's now a Mutants version. And I think the reason this is my favourite is because I loved the original 3 Doctors version I did. The Invasion of the Dinosaurs version I wasn't that happy with, so I went back to the Three Doctors version. But then when the Three Doctors version came out, I haven't got the official figure, but I just I didn't want to have a custom version when there was an official figure available. And so I made the Terror of the Autons version, and it never, as I said in the video when I did this figure, it never sat right with me as a Terror of the Autons version. It just didn't look right. I really didn't like it. And now that I've done the Mutants version, and it is something that is different to anything else we've really seen, now it really jumps out and really grabs my imagination, because it's a custom that's gone through so many changes, and so many changes that have so many times where I've gone, oh, I'm really not happy with this, and yet now it is, I look at it and I think, why didn't I do this in the first place? I'm so pleased with it now, and it definitely is my favourite out of all of these. That being said, I still have the Monster of Peladon version up on the shelf. This version is up on the shelf with all my other Doctors, mainly because, as much as I'm pleased with the others, this variant is very different to anything else we've seen released. So, for example, you know, this is like a Green Death variant. We've seen that actually released. We've seen a Planet of the Daleks version released. We've seen a Third Doctor's version released. But the green jacket look with this one, it's close to the regenerated Fourth Doctor, the Planet of the Spiders variant, but it's still a variant that isn't close to things that we've seen before. At least to me, I think is different to things we've seen before, and so that's why I like to have that one on my shelf. Yeah, you know, it's an interesting point that, you know, I just want to touch on as well the fact that I'm saying these two are my favourite to make. This one is my favourite, you know, overall. But that's not to understate the Planet of the Daleks version. And I think, again, I know I said I wasn't going to go back to this, but I am going to go back to it. I think this Planet of the Daleks version, that is my favourite in terms of really showcasing something that could have been done from the straight off, that character options could have done themselves, compared to what we did get released. You know, I think it's a perfect example of how things could have been, and I think that's the one that stands out the most, because the other ones, you know, I said I've added bits, I've taken off, I've sculpted on new bits, but, you know, at the end of the day, this one, with the exception of having to re-sculpt the waistcoat slightly, it really is one that I think they could have done that from the very beginning, and I think that's the one that stands out the most for that reason. So yeah, they all have their own pluses, but I'm still at the end of the day, they're all custom figures that I'm really pleased with the final product that's come out of them. There's certainly ones that I'm going to have well on display in Pride in my collection. And that brings to a close another Doctors series and the 3rd Doctors series. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot. And be sure to check out the description below for a link to my Patreon. There's an exclusive webcomic and rewards for people who support it, and the funding generated by my Patreon helps me fund future videos. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.